For my scaffold reading writing lesson plan, I have chosen to focus on 8th grade English, and I chose to do a 2-day poetry lesson. Um, when we start this lesson, the students have already learned the basics of poetry, such as, theme, imagery, figurative language, similes, and symbolic meanings that can be found in poetry. So these are things that the students are very familiar with. So now when we start reading the poetry, they're able to actually sit and analyze and find all of these ideas within the poem. As far as pre-reading strategies, I am big on journals, so I will have the students each day do a quick write on whatever it is that I assign for them to do and have them, create a journal entry for that day with their quick write. First day, I am going to put a quote on the board by Eleanor Roosevelt that says, "You must do the things you think you cannot do." And with that, I will give the students about 5 minutes to reflect on the poem and interpret it into their own words, and also state how this poem or how this quote relates to their own life, because it relates to the two poems that we're going to be reading for that day. And I know it's anticipatory, so it's something that you want to to create that relates to that lesson for the day, because it gets the students thinking about what is going to be discussed within the class for that specific day. The two poems that I chose to do on the first day is Mother to Son by Langston Hughes, and the second one is Speech to the Young, Speech to the Progress by Gwendolyn Brooks. And these two poems focus on the idea of never giving up, no matter how hard things may be or seem that they can be. The message behind all of it is to always stay positive and never give up. On the second day, I will have the students create their own acronym for the word success. I will have them do a journal entry where I give them about 5 minutes to create an acronym, for the word success. And once they're done, I will have each of the students go to the board and write their acronym on the board so we can all, participate in a class discussion. And the reason why I chose that for the second day pre-reading strategy is because that day we are going to be focusing on a poem by Ralph Waldo Emerson, which is entitled What is Success? And within that poem, he basically outlines what he believes success is. And that's why I want the students to get thinking about what they believe success is to them. Um, as far as during reading strategies, I know in the book it discusses the idea of cubing, and I think that's a really good idea and technique to use within the class, because it can't only be used as an individual project, but it also could be used as a group project as well. And I know group projects are really good to do within a class because it gets the students being able to discuss amongst their peers the ideas of of the particular topic. As far as how I would use that on my second day is I would give them the idea of success, and then I will have them create a cube in which where each of the sides you describe it, compare it, associate it, analyze it, apply it, and you argue for and against it. And I kind of created a little cube myself. It's not the best, but like for instance, um, when you compare it, what is it similar or different to? Success is not failure. And another idea is when you describe it, um, success equals, money, a good job, a home, and of course, happiness. And another idea is, where you analyze it, where it asks you to tell how it is made or what it is composed of. Um, Success is made of determination, hard work, and always wanting the best for yourself. So that's just an idea that you could use within the class. That's creative. The students can, they don't have to use words just to create the cube. They could be artistic and draw pictures or anything that relates to that and how they could express it on the cube. I think that's a good creative project for the students to do. Another thing that will have the students do as a post-reading strategy, and something that's kind of a work in progress as we read a poem and analyze it within class, is I will have the students do a Venn diagram, such as this. Of course, it would be larger, but within each circle, it's the one of the poems that we read. So this is a good visual where the students get to see how each of the poems discussed with the past 2 days compare and contrast amongst each other. And as far as my formative and summative assessment, after completing the lesson and after we've done the closure and discussed all of the main themes and everything that was, discussed and kind of wrap everything up for the past 2 days, I will have the students write their own poem. Now, the poem that they write will have to be kind of like a spin-off to what we read the past 2 days. Like, for instance, with the poem Mother to Son, they could write a poem Father to Daughter, or they could write a poem Mother to Father. Um, and another idea, like for what is success, the students can write their own poem outlining their ideas of what is success. Another idea, speech to the young. They could do, a speech to the old where it's the young person, informing an elder of kind of the ideas that were discussed in the other poem, but on a flip side. So with these um, lessons and different strategies that will be used within the lesson plan, I think that it's a good idea because it's just poetry can be kind of hard and it can be kind of, you know, it's just something that it's not that easy to get sometimes. So by making it fun, I think it's a good way to get the students involved with the poetry. And the poems that I choose and any of the literature that I will be choosing with my class, I want it to have some type of meaning, not only like in the literal context, but I want it to be something that they could relate to with their own lives. Like for the poem Mother to Son, it's one of my favorite poems because it just, I mean, it's, you can hear the mom speaking to the son, telling him, don't give up, don't sit down on the stairs, don't give up. And she uses a staircase as a symbolic meaning of keep moving higher, never just sit down on the stairs. I mean, there's going to be nails in the stairs, sometimes it's going to be bare, but all the time you just can't give up. So that's an important lesson that I know that I will be teaching to my students in classes, just to never give up.